Welcome, dear listeners, to Stars and Stories. Tonight we journey into the shadows, where the past lingers and the dead refuse to rest. Across America, there are places where the veil between our world and the next is thin. Places where whispers echo in empty halls, where footsteps creak on abandoned staircases, and where the air itself seems to hold its breath. These are the haunted places of America, and their stories will send shivers down your spine. Our first stop takes us to the rugged mountains of Colorado, to a place that inspired one of the most terrifying stories ever told. The Stanley Hotel, a grand and picturesque lodge nestled in Estes Park, is famous for its role in Stephen King's The Shining. But long before it became a pop culture icon, the Stanley had its own dark tales to tell. Guests and staff have reported strange occurrences for decades. Doors slam shut on their own. Piano music echoes through the empty ballroom, though no one is playing. And in room 217, where Stephen King himself once stayed, a ghostly maid is said to linger. Legend has it that she was killed in an explosion long ago, and now she tidies up the room for unsuspecting guests. But the most chilling story is that of the fourth floor. Children's laughter echoes in the hallways, and shadowy figures dart around corners. Some say these are the spirits of children who once stayed here, forever trapped in the hotel's eerie embrace. Next, we travel to San Jose, California, to a house that defies logic and reason. The Winchester Mystery House is a sprawling mansion with staircases that lead to nowhere, doors that open into walls, and hallways that twist and turn like a labyrinth. But this architectural oddity has a dark history. The house was built by Sarah Winchester, the widow of the rifle magnate William Winchester. After the deaths of her husband and infant daughter, Sarah was consumed by grief and fear. She believed she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. A medium told her that the only way to appease the spirits was to build a house for them, a house that was never to be finished. For 38 years, construction never stopped. Workers labored day and night, adding rooms, hallways, and secret passages. Sarah slept in a different room each night to confuse the spirits. But even after her death, the house remains a hotbed of paranormal activity. Visitors report hearing footsteps, whispers, and the sound of construction tools late at night. Some even claim to have seen Sarah's ghost wandering the halls of her never-ending mansion. Narrator. Now we venture into the deep south, to a place where the past is alive and deadly. The Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, is often called one of the most haunted homes in America. Built in 1796, this antebellum mansion is said to be home to at least 12 restless spirits. The most famous ghost is that of Chloe, a slave who worked in the house. Legend has it that Chloe was caught eavesdropping on her master's conversations. As punishment, he cut off her ear. Seeking revenge, Chloe poisoned a birthday cake, killing the master's wife and 2 daughters. But the other slaves, fearing retribution, hanged Chloe and threw her body into the river. Today, Chloe's ghost is said to roam the plantation, her face often appearing in photographs. Visitors report hearing her footsteps, seeing her reflection in mirrors, and feeling an icy presence in the house. But Chloe isn't the only spirit here. The ghost of a young girl, believed to be one of the poisoned children, has been seen playing on the porch, her laughter echoing through the night. Our final stop takes us to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to a place where despair and suffering are etched into the very walls. Eastern State Penitentiary, once the most famous and expensive prison in the world, is now a crumbling ruin and a hotspot for paranormal activity. Opened in 1829, Eastern State was designed to isolate prisoners, driving many to madness. The cells were tiny, with only a small skylight to let in light. Prisoners were hooded when they left their cells, so they wouldn't see or be seen by anyone. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional scream or sob. Today, visitors report hearing those same screams. Shadowy figures dart through the corridors. Cell doors slam shut on their own. And in cell block 12, the ghost of a former inmate is said to laugh maniacally, his voice echoing through the empty halls. Some even claim to have seen the spirit of Al Capone, who was imprisoned here, still pacing his cell in despair. These are just a few of the haunted places that dot the American landscape. Each one tells a story of love, loss, revenge, and regret. These are the places where the past refuses to die, where the dead walk among the living, and where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs. So, the next time you find yourself in a quiet, shadowy place, listen closely. You might just hear the whispers of those who came before. Thank you for joining me tonight on Stars and Stories. Until next time, stay curious and maybe keep a light on. Good night.